Welcome to Medicaid Waivers, an overview presented by Indiana Family to Family. Indiana Family to Family is the parent-to-parent organization and family-to-family health information center for Indiana. These centers are statewide, family-led organizations that assist families of children and youth with diverse health and mental health needs, as well as the professionals who serve them. We provide information, education, training, support, and outreach. The information in this presentation is current as of August 2026. As with any resources or information, it's important to verify the information provided to ensure it meets the same needs as your family's respective situation. Medicaid waivers offer home and community-based services to individuals with disabilities. This voluntary program allows people with disabilities to receive Medicaid funding for services in their home and community rather than in a Medicaid-funded institutional setting. The waivers allow a person to use traditional insurance and access additional services not covered by a traditional Medicaid plan. For those already using Medicaid coverage, the waiver recipient's category will need to be changed to one that is compatible with the waiver. For children under 18, this may include going through Indiana Medicaid's medical review team to decide eligibility for Medicaid based on disability. At age 18, the Social Security Administration determines disability eligibility rather than Medicaid. The individual must meet the SSA definition of adult disability to keep their Medicaid and thus their waiver services. For individuals concerned with assets causing an SSI denial, special needs trusts, ABLE accounts, and other options should be considered. Remember, only the individual's income and assets are considered for Medicaid and/or SSI approval, while waiver eligibility is based on a disability diagnosis and an individual's level of care. Once an individual has received an invitation to the waiver, they will be asked to choose a case management company and a case manager to assist with starting the waiver process, as well as for ongoing monitoring of waiver services. More information on this can be found in our waiver journey documents on the Tools for Coordinating Care section of our website at www.inf2f.org. The types of waivers included in this presentation are the Family Supports Waiver, also known as the FSW, the Community Integration and Habilitation Waiver, often referred to as the CIH waiver, the Health and Wellness Waiver, also known as the H&W waiver, and the Traumatic Brain Injury Waiver, also known as the TBI waiver. The Family Supports Waiver is for individuals with an intellectual or developmental disability diagnosis prior to age 22 that is considered lifelong. An individual must meet the level of care needed for admission to an intermediate care facility for those with an intellectual disability. There must be substantial functional limitations in at least 3 of 6 major areas of life. These 6 areas of life are self-care, learning, self-direction, capacity for independent living, understanding and use of language, and mobility. Applications can be completed via the Online Bureau of Disability Services or BEADS Gateway, or by contacting a local Bureau of Disability Services district office to request an application. The Family Supports Waiver offers a set amount of annual funds for services. Some services include respite, behavioral support, family and caregiver training, music, and recreation therapies. Full list of these services can be found in the Medicaid Waiver Manual, which is located online at fssa.in.gov. The Community Integration and Habilitation Waiver, or CIH waiver, is for individuals with an intellectual or developmental disability diagnosis prior to age 22, determined to be lifelong and meeting at least one priority criteria. Some of these priority criteria include the death or incapacitation of a primary caregiver when no other caregiver is available, an individual transitioning to a home or community-based setting from an institutional or other residential placement, or an individual who poses an extraordinary health or safety risk to themselves or others in their current environment. The funding is based on the individual's needs. These services can be used in a family home, in an individual's own home, or in a shared residential setting where no more than 4 individuals share the residential supports. The application is started by contacting the local Bureau of Disability Services district office or by completing the application through the BEADS Gateway. When applying for a CIH waiver, it's important to specify that the request is for the CIH waiver. The health and wellness waiver is for individuals with a medical condition which requires a nursing level of care. This can include an individual who has a tracheotomy, uses a ventilator, or has a G-tube. The individual may also have a medical condition that causes the need for help with their activities of daily living, also referred to as ADLs. A person may qualify for the health and wellness waiver at any age, and if a family is in doubt as to whether their loved one would be eligible, they should call their local area agency on aging or the level of care assessment representative, Maximus, and request the initial screening. This is separate from the application process. At this point, if the individual passes the initial screening, the area agency on aging will guide the family in completing the full application. It's important to note that children having a trach, a vent, or a G-tube may or may not meet the level of care. It's based on their personal needed supports. The traumatic brain injury waiver is specific to individuals with a TBI resulting from sudden insult or injury to their brain after birth. An individual must meet nursing facility level of care, and this application can also be completed by contacting your local area agency on aging or the Indiana level of care assessment representative known as Maximus. It's important to note that if an individual with a TBI is found not to meet nursing facility level of care, they can then be evaluated by the Bureau of Disability Services to evaluate whether the individual meets intermediate care facility for individuals with an intellectual disability. Please note, Indiana is currently redesigning its Medicaid waiver system through an initiative called the Waiver Reset. As a result, waiver programs and services will continue to change over the next few years. The Waiver Reset is being implemented in phases, with the first phase including the creation of a new youth waiver for individuals ages 0 to 21. This is currently projected to begin in July of 2027. New waiver options for adults aged 22 and older are then expected to roll out beginning in 2028. Because details may continue to evolve as the redesign process moves forward, families are encouraged to stay informed and watch for updates. For the latest information, timelines, and frequently asked questions, visit the Indiana Bureau of Disability Services Waiver Reset webpage listed on your screen. Indiana Family to Family is also a valuable resource for families seeking information and support, as we regularly share updates, educational opportunities, and resources to help families understand changes to waiver services and other disability-related programs. Additional information on this topic, as well as others, can be found on the Indiana Family to Family website. For one-on-one support, you can complete the form found on the Connect page of our website. Call 844-323-4636 or send us an email at info@inf2f.org.